live with Dragon. Video is pain protocol for herniated disc. I don't need to explain this to the audience. If you're dealing with a herniated disc, it's one of the most painful experiences that I've ever felt. So, and from what I'm reading on multiple forums about what you potentially are feeling, it's pretty similar. So horrible, horrible pain. What are some things we can do to mitigate that pain and get us back into the battle? So I want to break this up. I'm looking to the right here just to gauge my notes here. But three questions, or two questions and one comment from me. Why do we use pain management, which I'll briefly discuss? Why do we not take pain management prescriptions? Like, why are we not doing these things? And then three, what worked for me? So starting with number one. The number one rule for me, if I have a flare-up or I'm battling a herniated disc like I have been for the last 14 weeks, week 14 by the way, is to drop inflammation. So the less inflammation that I have in my body, the less pressure it's going to have on that sciatic nerve. And obviously the disc putting pressure on that, we want to drop that down so we can get rid of the electricity that is coursing through either both of our legs or one of those legs. Number two, we take pain management therapy because we want to move, right? So I don't know about you guys, but when I went down, I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk, couldn't sit, I couldn't lay down in certain positions. I was effectively useless for a few days. Useless, okay? And if you're in a constant state of being useless, right? Joints aren't moving, body gets stiff, we get tight, exacerbates the issue, okay? We want to continue movement through the healing process to get back to what we were doing before, which is obviously movement, okay? If you're sitting in your ass for months and weeks and so on and so forth, the issue's not going to go away. So rather than obviously wait, because with time I do believe that the injury is going to continuously get better, why don't we expedite the process, throw in some pain management techniques, i.e. like an anti-inflammatory or a muscle relaxer, just to get the first part rolling, which is, even if you can do a couple steps better than no steps. Walk to the end of the driveway, walk back, walk around the block, okay? Let that continue to progress so that way you're expediting the healing process. Three, obviously we are suffering physically when we have a herniated disc, but we all think, one of the underplayed things is like the mental toll that it takes on you constantly having chronic pain, right? This is not something that just, maybe this will go away if I move this way. It is always present, obviously to different degrees, but that pain has a play on our mental stress. Where does that mental stress go? It can go inward or it can go outward. Obviously, if you have people around you, you're gonna take it out on them. That's not a good thing to do, which then makes you feel bad, more guilt, more cortisol, more stress being released. Not good, okay? So if we can give ourselves, I'm not saying we're killing the pain entirely, but if we can knock it down a few notches, we're gonna be a little bit, better humans to be around. So those are the reasons, I'm sure there's a lot more than that, but those are the things that I can think of off the top of my head why we would take anti-inflammatories. And I don't know why that there is a discussion where some people are like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to do this. Like, take the medication for the temporary. I understand that there's some people that don't like medication, but again, would you rather heal faster or would you rather suffer for longer and not take medicine? To me, it's a no-brainer. I need to get back going. I want to be able to get my goals, okay? So why do we not take these pain management therapies? So blunt the pain. I'm so guilty of this. This is my number one. Not so much now, but when I was in my younger years, I blunt the pain to resume activities, okay? Now, depending on the severity of your disc, the first time I herniated my disc, there's no way that I could have done anything. It doesn't matter what medication I was on, I was screwed. It was just, I had to gut it out and I had to see where we're going to go in the healing process. There's no amount of medication that could have done it. However, after that first one, I've had, different issues with my back come up over the last 10 years where, I could feel a bulge coming. I would take anti-inflammatories. And because I was so into training, I'd be like, I can negotiate in my brain, well, I've dropped the pain down to a 1 or less, maybe even a 2. Let me go bench press. Stupid, okay? That type of mindset is going to set you back months, You're lucky if it's weeks, but even a year in some cases. So not worth it. Number 2, abuse the prescription, okay? Abuse the prescription, like not following the standards. Like if I, for example, have recommended 800 ibuprofen, Motrin, whatever the case may be, you're also only allowed to do it 3 times per day. If you're doubling that, it's gonna lead to other issues. I don't need to explain this. I'm, again, guilty of this myself. Maybe initial flare-ups, I do a little bit too much. You're gonna pay for it later on. It's not worth it, not worth it. The last one, opioids. Now, I don't know about you, but in America, they're very, after the whole opioid crisis, they're not really driving that out in the market anymore, which I think is a good thing. But, don't take medication to get high, okay? Don't get high off your own supply. If you're gonna get high, wink, wink, then, CBD gummies with maybe THC mixed in at the end of the day, I don't think that's hurting anybody. If that gives you more restful sleep, we heal when we sleep, right? So if you can go in my opinion, the natural way, which is the THC, CBD gummies, things of that nature, I think it's gonna help, again, expedite the process. But what I'm not talking about is doing opioids. Stupid, has no effect in terms of the healing. I don't think it has anything in regards to like the pain management, because the sciatica is always present. I've taken them. I never saw anything good come out of it. If anything, my appetite was shredded, couldn't eat anything, and it made my symptoms worse. So, last but not least, what worked for me? Anti-inflammatories, a supplement regimen, which is too long to get into, but over-the-counter OTC supplements. You can do research on that. Fish oils, multivitamins, vitamin B. These are all things that are going to expedite that healing process. A muscle relaxer has helped on initial flare-ups. For me specifically, on top of the anti-inflammatories, my left glute was forever twitching, just in a constant state of, why is the word eluding me? Let's just say it was always twitching. It was always engaged. Bad, because it's super, super tight. So the muscle relaxer should help kind of release that tension. Last but not least, kratom. I don't know if it's legal in your state or wherever you're watching this from, but kratom is legal in Florida. It can be ordered online. I'm sure you can order online in different states as well. Obviously, don't break the law. I'm not encouraging you to do those things, but I can tell you that, in my own process in this journey, I have used kratom to sleep better, and I have used kratom to continue to stay motivated to put out content. I've been trying to dial back my caffeine, and ways I can still be, Zen-like Derek, dragon, if you will, is through some use of kratom. Obviously, different strains are going to offer different situations for the user, but if it's something that you want to throw into the mix, throw it into the mix. At the end of the day, we're all trying to heal as fast as possible. I am in week 14. I've seen tremendous strides, probably in the last short amount of time, let's say. I've been very diligent about following a dragon-like routine that is specific for myself. We're gonna get into the online thing that I looked into for myself in another video, but overall, the dragon is completely running his program. I need to do my due diligence, obviously, and not jump off the deep end like I did in week 7. Week 7, I was feeling great. Gym, flare, very bad. So don't get there. Pain management techniques, utilize them at your discretion. Dragon, ouse.